paragraph you want to point us to, we'll definitely review that. But all of these items, as far as the nature of action, are as stated. So the parties, Veritaseum Capital is an LLC company organized and existing in the laws of the state of Wyoming. So that is where Veritaseum is based on this particular document filed before the court. You asked for a demand for jury trial. Coinbase Global, organized under the existing laws of Delaware. Coinbase is intentionally structured as a remote-first distributed company. However, their regular established place of business is such in Middleton, Delaware. So you've established a place to draw jurisdiction and place your claim. Understood. Nature of action. Reggie Middleton has invented novel devices, systems, and methods enabling parties with little trust or no trust in each other to enter into and enforce value transfer agreements conditioned on input from or participation of a third party over arbitrary distances without special technical knowledge of the underlying transfer mechanisms, and was awarded a patent. I read that number to you earlier and referred to that patent from the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office as the 566 patent. Reggie Middleton says, Wade does an excellent job of breaking down the actual facts. He read the complaint and the background case. I suggest all to follow him. Wade, go ahead.
Yeah, that's who I was going to pull up and show, kind of going through the highlights. But we can go through this if you want to continue.
Break it down, because I do want to actually give this news its due diligence. We are a Web3 media company representing the news as it is brought not only to others, but also to our own community. And having Reggie Middleton in the community to actively present the facts before us is a wonderful opportunity. So yes, let's read the complaint in full for the Crypto Rascals and the Warriors, so that if there are any misunderstandings represented in the complaint itself or in the news, we will know what the facts are as stated by Reggie Middleton. So I'm more than willing to continue. Although not the subject of this action, Mr. Middleton was also awarded a patent, as I stated, in the Japanese Patent Office 477 patent. He licensed all those rights to the patents, including the right to sue, to Veritaseum, as I stated. This is an action for patent infringement, another duplicative statement. Defendant is infringing the claims of the 566, the USPTO patent, by making, using, selling, or offering to sell and importing into the U.S. products and services through its website, the home website, www.coinbase.com. That infringes the claims of 566 patent in violation of Veritasium's intellectual property rights that were granted by Reggie Middleton. The example 1, providing a copy of the 566, is attached to this complaint and is incorporated herein as if fully written. Jurisdiction and venue is established where this court case will take place, and then the factual allegations. Ashrel, if you'll go ahead and jump into those factual allegations, I'll take a quick sip of breath to catch my breath. A sip till
okay.
Sorry.
There we go. So paragraph 11, Mr. Middleton has invented novel device systems and methods enabling parties with little trust or no trust in each other to enter into and enforce value transfer agreements conditioned on input from or participation of a third party and or data source over arbitrary distances without special technical knowledge of the underlying transfer mechanisms. 12. Mr. Middleton has obtained intellectual property protection of his invention in the U.S. by the 566 patent. Continuing here. Mr. Middleton has exclusively licensed all substantial rights to his 566 patent, including the right to sue third parties for infringement of his 566 patent to Veritaseum. The 566 patent that Mr. Middleton has been awarded, now exclusively licensed to Veritaseum, is the utility patent as described below. Okay, let's get into number 14. On December 7th, 2021, the the 566 patent entitled Devices, Systems, and Methods for Facilitating Low Trust and Zero Trust Value Transfer was duly and legally issued to inventors Reginald Middleton and Matthew Bogosian, duly and legally assigned to Mr. Middleton, and then exclusively licensed to Veritaseum. Okay. And we continue. On July 3rd, 2022, plaintiffs sent defendants a letter providing notice to defendant of the defendant's infringement of the 566 patent. So July 3rd of this year was when, I guess, Coinbase, the defendant sent notice to the defendant sent a letter of notice to the defendant of the defendant's infringement of the 566 patent. So continuing, defendant had prior knowledge, should have known, or at least been willfully blind of the 566 patent. Defendant has been on notice of the 566 patent at least as early as July 3rd, 2022, if not earlier from other sources or parties. So they're saying you knew at least in July and maybe beforehand. Continuing on, defendant resides in this district and has a regular and established place of business in this district at 1209 Orange Street, Wilmington, Delaware, 19801. Defendant has conducted substantial portion of its business through said regular and established place of business in this district and has made, used, offered, and sold, and continues to make, use, offer, and sell its infringement products and services in this district. Now we're moving into what we see here, summary of the claimed invention and background. All right, you want me to continue here through paragraph 19, or you got any comments on what we just said over here? I think you're on. Are you on mute?
I just want to make sure that we gave Reggie Middleton his due diligence and actually read directly from the complaint itself what is being alleged, why it's being alleged, that they were given notice on July 3rd, and that he also said on Twitter that he has been saying that this was coming for about a year. The only misrepresentation that I could have possibly spoken was something that was represented in the news, because everything that I was saying was directly from the complaint itself. So if there is any missing information, Reggie, please feel free to jump in because I haven't heard anything new that we weren't already alluding towards. The only thing that we didn't get further into is all of the different infringements that you actually claim. We claim a lot of it. I mean, I'm not going to actually mislead the crypto rascals or the warriors. There are actually 79 allegations or claims of infringement by on the 566 patent by Veritaseum. So if there is anything that we have missed out on, please let us know. But I don't think that there is. Nevertheless, let me do answer Sean Sullivan's question. How far do you think Reggie will take this? Well, as I was getting towards, he has, or Veritaseum, excuse me, has gone so far as to actually hire a legitimate attorney with 30 years experience, multiple offices in multiple locations across America to not only send a initial notice, but also to file this complaint in a venue where this has to be heard. So although the news may have mischaracterized Cointelegraph and MSN, we're here to report that this is a legal document that has been filed. If his claims are illegitimate, then that is for a judge or a jury to decide. As this is a demand for a jury trial, will it get that far? Only the attorneys can determine at this point. Nevertheless, Veritaseum has every right to move forward with this based off of the USPTO documents that they have been issued. This is not a landmark necessarily case in cryptocurrency. This could be one of those cornerstone cases in cryptocurrency history, as if the courts should determine that Coinbase has infringed upon the intellectual property rights of Veritaseum, not only will Reggie Middleton be correct in what he said on Twitter, that I gave you duly warning by preaching this for over a year. Uh, Brothers like Asherell, other brothers throughout the blockchain crypto space who have been Veritasium interactors will be actually redeemed for their claims. So, Reggie, no, I was not here to speak down upon Veritasium or actually start beef with you. I was actually here to report the news as they reported it and then actually provide our perspective as well. Is this a cash grab? Potentially. It's asking for $350 million worth in damages. However, Coinbase just went public. If you're going to take a swing at somebody, take a swing at the biggest guy on the block. Job well done for at least trying to hit the biggest person who is infringing upon your patent, because guess what? If they fall, then the rest of them will fall as well. If you have an argument, you can argue with Rick S. Miller and Ferry Joseph out of Wilmington, Delaware. Also, Carl Brundage and David E. Morth out of Brundage and Stanger PC. But those are the facts as of September the 22nd. Plaintiff hereby demands a jury trial pursuant to Rule 38 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure on all issues so trial. Let the courts do what they may.
Do what they do. Yeah, I think I'm kind of waiting for like news of like, all right, what's going to happen? Who are the players who are actually, going to have to pay up? And Coinbase's, I guess, affiliation with BlackRock, Circle, kind of being chosen by those powers that be. It's an interesting position that puts them in contrast against each other. So we'll see what happens from here, man. I think it's the rest of the crypto year is going to be interesting, because we can't forget about Craig Wright as well, who has and other patent holders, not just Veritaseum and Reggie Middleton, but JP Morgan's and kind of, we're going to talk about this with the regulations that Congress is probably bringing in. I think there are a lot of institutional or commercial players, whether it's like Craig Wright or these banks. We'll see what have they invented in the crypto space that actually will have wide adoption and use.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just a couple of the comments. Cryptonomics is saying the complaint is so vanilla. It's actually water. 30 years experience, not in crypto. Actually, some of those guys on their team, it does have blockchain experience for their website. But go research that for yourself to confirm. Armando Got Your Back says this sounds like it will make Reggie richer, but very holders still waiting. Omnibone says once the patent was issued, it will hold, especially using the Very. He will win. My only question is, in this market, knowing how vanilla it is, he isn't concerned that BTC could crash. Son Sullivan says, who owns the patent? More than one entity. And then Cryptonomics says Very holders were made whole via the SEC. This is a patent troll scam. So a big topic in the crypto space for sure. Many rascals definitely interested in this topic. I think it was great to have Reggie Middleton here in
that's cool.
To actually say many of the claims in those stories from Cointelegraph, which I thought you was on Twitter actually asking for more media companies to represent this story and actually push this out, as many Decrypt and others were actually ignoring this story. So don't attack us, brother. We actually heard just trying to put the news out for others to go out and do their research as well. And then we actually read from the complaint also. So always just give the news that the people can use when they can use it. And this was definitely a hot topic for many of the crypto warriors and rascals.
Yeah, before we go, I want to give a shout out, because I'm consuming crypto content here and there, and this guy, Digital Hustle Network, Wade Teamer, go check out his Twitter and his thread. He'll go through and do a better breakdown. I'm not going to reiterate everything that he went through here, but he has a video talking about Veritaseum, and he does a really good job of not just Veritaseum, but he breaks down like everything from XRP to how the CBDC and the inner workings of the financial payment system and how that affects crypto. So if you want some good insight, I know Ro Black, shout out to him, he does Black Group, he does go into that as well. But yeah, check out Digital Hustle Network on YouTube and on Twitter. Wade Teamer, shout out to him because I caught his content the past few months, and he does a lot of good long form documentaries and like deeper dives. So got to give the shout out to the people who are educating me out here too. So he's a good one to follow.
Definitely
as well.
And Reggie says the lead partner won a $636 million IP settlement from a Fortune 500 company. Some of you guys are hating because a brother was a brother. Hey, the facts are those are legitimate attorneys. They have legitimate offices. They actually specialize in these type of suits. So all of these claims will have to actually meet, the legal standard, their barrier, and will be actually read on their merits. So let the courts do what they do and determine whether or not Veritaseum has a rightful claim to make. And if they do, hey, Coinbase got to pay up. It is what it is.